Welcome to Rising Tides, the business podcast where we explore how leading ladies across industries make waves and rise above the competition. Join host Angela Merza and myself, Kim Hayden, as we talk to inspiring business women from entrepreneurs to executives about the strategies and tactics they use to get ahead. From their failures to their successes, you'll get an inside look at what it takes to make it in the business world today. Together, let's discover the power of collaboration and how raising each other up can help us all reach the heights of success. So dive in and join the conversation. Hey, Angela. How
Hey,
you
Kim,
doing?
how's it going? Oh, good. I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk to our next guest.
I am too. I'm kind of stoked. So in the opening of the show, we talk about collaboration, right? And it
Yeah.
was fascinating because this past week I've seen multiple announcements of major companies, big companies that are entering spaces of collaboration, and that is what I'm hearing out there in the workspace. So I'm super excited about having Julie Haskill on the show because she not only is incredibly awesome as a human being and a talented brand strategist and such, she's also one of those women that is like yourself an incredible collaborator, understanding that many are stronger than an individual, right? So folks, Julie Haskell is the founder of Muse Design, a strategic and creative consultancy that transforms existing brands and creates new ones. With a passion for creativity, she has spent over 15 years helping entrepreneurs realize their dreams through marketing, design, and media. Since 2007, Julie has collaborated with business owners to develop brand identities and strategies, websites, and graphic tools, empowering them to grow their businesses with confidence and clarity. So you're ready? You're ready to do this, Angela? All the big
Yeah, bring
questions
her
are
on.
on your
Bring
shoulders.
her on.
Okay. You guys are in for a treat. Let's bring Julie in. Hey, Julie.
Hello, good morning. Great to
Oh,
see you. Be
we're just
rude.
going to kick it right off.
Sorry,
Yes,
guys.
kick it off.
Kim, stop pushing the big red button. Stop.
Kim, no more
Whoa.
red button. Wrong button.
Somebody take her away from the control panel.
I'm telling you, like, did I mention it's been a long week? Welcome to the show, folks. Okay. No, it's not over. Okay. Sorry, guys. I am going to be quiet. It's
Well,
okay.
welcome, Julie, to our
Hello.
Gong Show.
Gotta love
No,
those.
it's so great to have you on. I've known Julie for ages, like literally, oh, I don't even know. Probably as long as I've known you, Kim, almost as long. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Julie and
12
I have been
years,
working
13
together,
years.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
long
12
time.
years. So lagging a few years behind Kim and I here. But yeah, we've all seen each other get some new wrinkles and all that. But
Yeah.
no, Julie is one of those, I call her a unicorn because she just got a thirst for knowledge and she just knows so much around not only graphic design, but web development, marketing strategies, campaigns, and all that. So we're gonna dig into some of this with her today. But she's
Yeah.
she's one of those unicorn people. Don't find them often. So
I'm
I'm happy to have her on.
excited. Bring it on. Ask all the magic unicorn questions.
All right. Well, first of all, I kind of want to ask, I like to get some backstory from our guests. We'll talk about where you are today, but what brought you to this point? Give us a little bit of background, who you are, something personal or professional, or if you've got a funny story. Who is Julie?
Who is Julie? Well, as you know, I just got back from Japan. So that was a huge, huge event for me. It's the longest I've been away from my work. It's the, longest I've been away from my family. And it was just an amazing experience all around. Really eye-opening as far as experiencing a different culture and language and cuisines. And it was just amazing. Um, but there's so many pieces of that, the simplicity and the respect piece that I really really hit me, and I want to bring forward into my life going forward. But professionally, I've had my own freelance business in communications marketing and graphic design, web design, since 2007. I've worked with everything from startups to larger corporations, spent a lot of time in the municipal communications realm, working in that for about 15 years. And more recently, I've been doing a lot of more consulting work and working a little closer with some clients. And I'm just loving everything that I've learned so far and where it's taken me and all of the experience and knowledge that it's given me over time. Like you said, I definitely thirst for learning new things and trying new things. And even if it's not something that I want to continue doing, I like to know the technology and understand how it works and at least keep up with the trends and what's new and what's exciting, and just have my finger on the pulse of those things that are up and coming and new and exciting, and just well-rounded. I'd like to be well-rounded.
Yeah, you definitely are. You're definitely my encyclopedia gal go-to when I have a web, and branding web kind of design question. I know you're gonna know the answer, so I second that motion. Um, what's one thing, like you said, you just traveled to Japan. What's one thing you said you're taking some things with you moving forward. What's one maybe lesson you've learned or something you learned from your travels just recently that you're going to bring in with you to either your
Yeah,
personal life or your business life?
there's two main takeaways for me. So one of them is a lot around respect and supporting
Mhm.
those weaker than you. I know that you had talked a bit about collaboration, and I'm not saying that a collaboration is one stronger, one weaker, but around the Japanese people really respect a lot, and they support those who need support. So even just like the cherry blossom trees, you'll walk around and you'll see the older ones that are maybe slumping a little bit, and they'll put these sticks up to hold them up so they last a little bit
Right.
longer. And like that's it's ingrained in the culture. And so when it comes back to business, and something to learn from that is like, how can you be collaborative and supportive, and and show respect to those around you, and really connect on that level where you're there as a resource, as a support, as we're all in this together. And it's not so much about you know competing. You and I, Angela, we do a very similar work. It's not
Yeah.
about competition. It's about
No.
supporting and uplifting people. And I think that that's a really good lesson that you can take forward, is how to, be really authentically supportive of others, and not look at it as competition, but as, community, and, you know, bringing it right back to the personal level. So that was one. Another thing that I think I've kind of gotten away from is the minimalism. Like everything's
Mhm.
clean and organized, and a lot of like white space. I took a lot of photos of different design, like posters, and yes, there's a whole thing around the fun and the cute and the anime characters, and that sort of thing. Like there was a lot of very cutesy things, but there was a lot of really elegant, clean lines and just simple, visual communication that I just really loved. It really was really beautiful.
Yeah, you can bring that into your work. But yeah, the idea of collaboration, that's really a mindset shift that I know I probably didn't have that early on as a young, designer, entrepreneur, strategist, early on when I was first starting out. So it's something that you need to learn And if the earlier you learn it, the better off you'll be, the better off we'll all be, really. So I agree with that.
Were you a Girl Scout or a Girl Guide, Angela?
No, I never did any of that.
Were
No.
you a Girl Scout or a Girl Guide, Julie?
No, I
They
wasn't.
I was until 8th grade, and that's actually one of the very first lessons they teach
Oh,
is
cool.
that collaboration and teamwork. So,
Mhm.
I have always been so I'm super excited because I feel like a lot of the way the world is working is actually starting to align where I've always been the weirdo. I've always been the weirdo, right? It's like,
Well,
"Oh
they
my
don't teach
god."
you that at school. It's like, do your
No,
own test, keep your eyes on your work, right? There isn't a whole lot of collaboration. And if there is, those group projects, there's not a whole lot of guidance as to
no,
how that can
exactly,
work well, right? And you
exactly.
get
Well,
frustrated. So,
and I think that people who can adopt that space, readily and wholeheartedly, there's
yeah.
one a lot of times we adopt something and it's like it got a resistance base to it, right? It's
Yeah.
like we adopt it reluctantly, but I think those who adopt it wholeheartedly, and I think that's why women are going to rise to the top of income earners because we are naturally aligned with creating community, right? It's a natural tendency for women in general. Julie, what makes you unique within your service offers offerings or what do you think is your unfair advantage in what you do?
So I thought a lot about this coming up to this, and I have two answers to that. One of them is I'm not special. I'm not unique. I'm really not. There's about a million people out there that do the exact same thing as me. Um, I think that we all have a different lens. We all have a different perspective. We all bring in different experience.
Mhm.
So, like I've said, I've worked with a lot of government, municipal government. I've worked with a lot of startups, and I've learned a lot from seeing both sides, like the macro and the micro and the big corporation versus little guy. So, there's that sort of perspective that I've brought forward. I think if there's an unfair advantage, it's that I genuinely care about my clients. I want to see them succeed. I want to see people that I surround myself with succeed. So I'll go above and beyond to do
Yeah.
whatever I can to get there. And sometimes that means learning something new, and sometimes that means making mistakes and trying something different. But all in all, like there's 100 million of me out there. Maybe not unicorns, but I think it's really just having that really authentic and genuine care for what happens.
Yeah. I think the humble servitude is kind of how you've always come across. Like you're ready, able, willing to figure it out, do the thing, go the extra mile, and clients love that, right? That's why we've worked together for so long. It's yes, you have this skill set, but if you were a pain in the ass to work with, we wouldn't be working together, right? So, right? So, I mean, it's part of it.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah. Awesome. Well, let's talk a bit about tactics. So,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot that you do, and so I'm not sure if we want to whittle something down, but I know something that a lot of clients get wrong, I guess, or need help or support around is creating marketing campaigns that are holistic, right? We see this a lot, I think, that everyone's looking for the magic bullet. Like, oh, if I could just run some Google ads, oh, if I could just, do this or that or the other thing, I'll get to this goal. Can you give us some easy to implement tips, like maybe up to 3 tips that, oh, Kim,
Sorry.
you're having a day.
I'm trying
You're
to
having
drink
a
my
day.
tea.
Just just ignore Kim, everybody.
I'm going on mute. I'm going on mute, guys.
As we were talking about.
Yeah. So definitely,
Yeah.
so one of my I do have a few tips, and one of them
Okay.
that I'd like to start with is to focus your efforts. So I find a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, even larger businesses, they just want to shoot everything out and see what lands. And
Right.
that doesn't always work. It's so important to have a strategy. You can't try to be everything to everyone all at once. It just doesn't work. So pick a few things that work for you, that are where your audience lives, and do them really well. Try not to spread yourself too thin, and because that just leads to burnout or exhaustion, or just extra work that you don't need to do. So I always suggest to people, start small, learn your audience, find out where they're at, be strategic about it, and really like focus on those few things. Remembering that if you don't know who your target audience is, if you don't define them first, you're probably going to fail at it. Not everybody responds to Google ads. Some people have ad blockers. That doesn't always work. Not everybody is active on social media. So where is your audience? Who are these people, and how can you actually come to meet them in their space?
Mhm.
Literally come to meet them in their space. I know that we've all kind of over the past few years sort of migrated to the online space, and that's one of my next tips is, once you've kind of identified who it is that you want to talk to, and picking those few things that really are going to make an impact for you and focusing on them, actually try to build those connections and relationships with people. And
Mhm.
don't don't just sit back and throw out a bunch of things on social media and expect it to like be that magic bullet, like you said. That's not
Mhm.
always going to work. In some industries it works. Usually things that already have name recognition, already have some, brand recognition out there that people are familiar with, and they typically have a following. And I'm not saying that you can't create relationships or connections online only, but what I'm finding is people are really craving that one on one, that
Mhm.
personal connection. Being out in your community, being at the hockey rink and talking to people and creating those relationships. People are really wishing for that again. Like they really want to know the people that they're doing business with and have a relationship, have a connection with them. And maybe they're not even the one that is at some point going to hire you, but they have friends. They have friends who need things. And the more visible you are in real life, in that space, the more memorable that's going to be for them, because people really love connection. They really love experiences. What's what really resonates for them. And as an example, like people don't usually just buy a box of cookies just based on the package on the shelf. They don't usually just see that and go, wow, that's a really great package. I don't know anything about the brand. I don't know anything about what's inside. I'm just going to buy it and try it. They don't usually do that. But remember old school, they don't do it so much anymore, maybe at Costco, but when you used to be able to go up to, that little kiosk and try a little sample of the cookie and be like, this is awesome. I'm going to go, try it or buy it, or, tell my friend who loves chocolate chunk cookies that it was like really great. Like that's the piece that I want to see people get back to, is like, having the opportunity to meet the owner of a business in person, taste that cookie, hear the story about how the recipe came to be. And if they like what they taste or they hear, that's connection. That's emotion. That's something that, they're going to rave to their friends about and inspire them to try as well. And so, how can you apply that logic to your business? Like, how can you give people a taste of what you offer and what you're about? Really, it's getting out of your house, it's getting out there in the world, it's creating personal connection and going to where the people are, building those relationships and being authentic and letting people see that. And then asking questions and really listening. Like
Mhm.
not just creating a product for the sake of creating a product or a service, but really connecting that to what people need. And
Yeah.
so that's some of my tips around that. The other piece, like I really want to go back to this, and I know it's like top of mind, is that collaboration piece. Because really, like we're all stronger when we're working together. Um, two heads are better than one, two audiences are better than one. I've seen some really great collaborations in the brewery space. Boogie's Burgers and New Level Brewing together made a dill pickle sour beer. You would never
Oh,
think of those two getting together and doing something like that, but it took those two followings to create a product that like exploded because they were, same sort of like type of business owner that was into the collaboration and, found a common audience or a common denominator there, that
mhm.
they created something beautiful. And there's so many opportunities like that, that whether you're in the same sort of industry or like-minded industries or have a similar audience, what are your opportunities out there to really tap into that and create those relationships and work together to create a new product or service or something that leverages both of your strengths. And so, complement each other, build each other up. And so that's another thing that I really think is, an important piece to being successful in business and marketing.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And people are craving that. We lost that for the last 2, 3 years. We lost that personal touch. We couldn't go out and network and all that. So people are really craving that. And, the brands you talked about getting together, they would have never thought of that product, that beer product on their own, but together, right? And now they both can benefit from it. So
Yeah.
collaborations are key, partnerships are key. In a lot of ways, even big brands can benefit from that personal brand angle, right? We kind of want to get personal with our brands. We love the backstories of hearing about companies, even companies, big companies like Nike. Like he started out in his garage, right? We love that stuff. It inspires us to be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So I think getting personal with your brand, whether you're a huge brand or a solopreneur, is really where things are trending right now.
Well, and we just see the announcement, Tony Robbins and Matthew McConaughey, right?
Mm.
That is a brand collaboration. But I have to ask, Julie, have you tried that pickle beer?
I have.
Is it
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
I like pickles. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
I
I
know
love
it's not for
boogies.
everyone, but it was really, like, unique. Definitely a summer barbecue little taste, something you want on a
Yeah.
patio with some burgers cooking in the background. Like, definitely was very unique, but I really did love where that was coming from. And I love that I'm seeing that a lot in, that brewing, distilling sort of space. I see that and I want to see more of that with people like you said. But these big brands, like they're all about, I don't want to say they're all about the bottom line. That isn't necessarily true, but I want to see more, let's get down to the basics and let's support each other as human beings and entrepreneurs and like collaborate where you can, support each other where you can, and make the most of the audience. They're already getting inundated with so many messages that let's take those two messages and make it one fabulous, beautiful partnership message.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And
Love
I
it.
guess kind of the most I think the aspect that we're all very comfortable with is when we see like charitable events and things like that, and you see that brand sponsorship and all those people working together to create a story or an event that can support a common interest. Um, what do you do, Julie, that, you know, here on Rising Tides, it's all rising tides raise all ships and we all work together, right? So, what do you do to help rise tides for others, either professional or personally?
So professionally, I do a lot of work with nonprofits. So working with them on strategy, marketing, web pieces. Really feel connected to that piece. Personally, I love giving back to the community. I love supporting women entrepreneurs. I love mentoring women entrepreneurs. So those are some places that I give back personally. Um, but I'm just always open for whatever is out there. I don't know that I necessarily put out an intention that I'm going to do X amount of whatever in a year. I just am open to whatever presents itself. And if I can help or support or, just be in the room, then, I do that where I can.
And
Excellent.
that's been my experience working with you too. So you're
Yeah.
just kind of open to opportunities, which is great. That's what brings on new opportunities and experiences that you may not have ever, known were out there had you
Yeah.
not been open to it. So
You
I
never
love it.
know where it's gonna take you. You never know who
No.
you're gonna meet and that takeaway is going to be for you, right? Might not
Yeah.
all be, professional, you know, like propelling you forward with that. It doesn't have to be that. In my mind, it's about, the people first, meeting the people,
Mhm.
meeting, hearing their story, learning what they're about. And, sometimes something comes out of it and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just really enriching to be part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah. Can just be a cool adventure. You never know. You never know. Let's see. So tell us about how you unwind. How do you recharge? How do you feed your creative side? How do you feed your soul? Like what is it
How do
that
I
you
feed my
do?
soul? Well, it's getting to be about that time of the year where I love to camp.
Oh
I love
yes.
to go camping and hiking and be out in, the wilderness and the forest and around the mountains. And while I'm doing that, I actually, you may or may not know this about me, but I paint. So
Oh, I didn't
I
know that.
I
I
bring
didn't know.
my canvas and my acrylic paints and I set them up and I just paint. And so that's something that I do to, recharge. I love being creative, whether it's, on a computer or, on a canvas. I love creating things and listening to music and just throwing paint on it on a canvas and seeing what happens with it.
Oh, that's
What
neat.
ti
I didn't know that. I'll have to see some of your paintings.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that. Will you send us an image of a couple of your paintings? I would love to see
Sure.
what you got. That's very cool. That is very
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I haven't painted in a while,
yeah, do you paint
definitely.
also, Angela?
Well, I did in university because we took did a graphic design degree and we had a painting class and I got quite good, but it took some practice. I'm pretty sure I lost all that skill set now. I'd have to start over.
And
I
I
haven't
I
done it
went
since.
to a special high school in special high school in
Are we
Wichita, Kansas.
surprised, folks?
Yes, are we surprised about this, folks? No. They called the arts high school. It was basically last ditch effort to keep them in school. So that was me.
Oh,
Um, and so I took 3 years of art and I paint. I love
that's neat.
painting. I love anything in the art space. I love crafting. I love gluing stuff together. I love
Me too.
redesigning stuff. And yeah, I get you, Julie. I get you. I don't like to color inside lines. However, did you know that you can actually take a picture and you can send it in? Like you can do this thing online. You can order a paint by numbers big canvas, and you actually can paint the picture with all of the depth and everything, so it looks like, you know, uh, uh, a 15th century painting. I didn't know you
Oh,
could do
cool.
this.
That's
My
cool.
son's, partner, Shay, she's in the mid I walk in, it's like, "What?" I'm looking at this going, "Ooh, that's cool. I could do that." But, yeah, it's like all this depth, and when she's done with it in probably 3 months, I'll share it with y'all because
Yeah.
it's pretty darn cool. I'm like going, "I wanna find out who came up with that idea because
So you could recreate the Mona Lisa and put it in your
that's
house.
it, and it's that kind of it's a beautiful contrasting colors and highlights,
Hmm.
and you paint it all, and it's little itty bitty slivers. I'm going, that'd be a lot of work, but
I could
I'm
probably do
getting
that kind of painting again.
yeah, that I think that would be
Yeah.
fun. I think maybe we should
Yeah.
have a group of us do
Painting
that.
party.
Yeah, paint part. Oh, I love paint parties. I love paint parties. You know, Julie, where can you share with us all your socials everywhere that people can find, follow, or contact you?
Yeah, you bet. So I'm on Facebook. So facebook.com/Muse Design. My website is musedesign.ca. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn, and then it's /something something and then Julie Haskill. So I can never remember exactly how to get that, but I don't think there's many of us out there, so I should be pretty easy to find. Yeah, and if you go on my website, you can, if you're in the mood and you want to do like a brand health checkup, you can, pull off a little quiz and just see how your branding is doing. I have that on the musedesign.ca website, so you can check that out. But
Ooh,
yeah, I'm always open to, like I said, meeting
brand.
new people, having
So
new
you
experiences.
so
So
you have that call to action for like basically a brand health check.
yeah,
Yep.
I sure
That's
do.
smart.
Musedesign.ca/brand-health. So
Yes,
that's where you can
that's
check
it.
that out.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's smart. And you know what? Everybody should check in because even if you've been doing something for a while, market shifts, audience shifts, and you need to kind of always tune in, right? Like take a step back and reevaluate. Um, you know, and I'm one of the guilty people, just so everybody knows, I'm one of the guilty people when Angela and Julie are talking about pulling it in and, refocus. I am, just so you know, if you're out there and you're feeling scattered and you're trying to figure out which direction, I am that person. I am a ideation person. I'm always coming up with stuff. I'm always and aligning myself with people like Julie and Angela allows me to kind of get it pulled back in, right? Because I'm that front of funnel. I'm that person who's out there talking to everybody and connecting in and going, "Oh, let's do dill pickle." That's me. And then I have, so if you're out there and you're going, "Oh, how do I like bring this together?" It's actually less painful when you have the right people on your side. It really
Yeah.
is.
And that's typical. The tactics, are exciting and shiny and fun to execute. And so we like to start with tactics, and we see that a lot, right, Julie? We see everybody get excited about the tactics, but that's where we draw them back in and go, hold your horses. We're putting the cart before the horse here. So let's do some planning, some strategy work first. So great. Well, we'll put that in our show notes for people to access. Can you tell me one final question here? Is there any advice that someone has given you, both either or not both, but either professionally or personally, that has helped you change directions or helped you have a big aha moment, either in your personal or professional life? And what was it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a little maybe out there in left field, but slow down.
Oh, yeah.
That is the best advice I've ever been given. I can't say that I'm great about following it all the time because I'm not, but I also, while I can really pull things back and look at things strategically, I go a mile a minute. My brain is always going, it's always on. And for me to be completely present, both, in my business and in my household, and for me personally, it's about stopping, smelling the flowers, sitting under the trees while they're raining, sack your snow on you, and, taking a deep breath, taking some, personal time to, just focus, regroup, go for a walk, and just take a deep breath and slow down a little. Otherwise, summer passes you by really fast, and then winter passes you by really fast, and you've forgotten to just, you know,
Mm.
be in the
Live.
moment and see where you are and checking in with yourself. So that's the
Yeah.
best advice, and I think it can be, taken however you want to take it, but that's that's the most impactful tidbit I've ever received.
I love the simplicity of that. Just slow down. Smell the roses, right? We forget. about that. And I know you like me work from home. It's easy to just always be at work
Yeah.
and setting up those parameters for yourself. I had to do that years ago, and I intentionally did that because I didn't want to, just be overrun with always working, because your workplace is where you live and you're there constantly. It's easy to do. So I set myself some parameters and I stuck to them, and it's helped a lot. So good advice. Good advice.
Very good advice. Very good. You guys will have to tell me how that works out, because I have days where I'm still at my desk at 10 o'clock at night because I'm that crazy lady who goes, oh, what if we do this? So if you, like I said, if you don't have an Angela or Julie in your life, get one. Get one, folks. If
Thanks for
you're
that PSA.
all righty. Well, we are at our 35-minute time because we want to respect your time, but we also want to say thank you. Thank you for sharing, Julie, your most valuable non-renewable resource, and for those who are listening to us. Angela, any closing comments, thoughts, or ideas?
Slow down, people. Slow down. Smell the
Julie.
roses.
Julie, in 6 months, you'll be wishing for those cherry blossoms. I'm dying to see your art.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You have to paint the
Yep.
cherry blossoms. Awesome. Until next time, folks, stick around for this super duper closing, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks.
Bye.